What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing another year-end video for the NASCAR season, and today I am going to be doing my top 10 NASCAR drivers of 2019. This is only Cup related, no Xfinity or Truck Series related, because I'm not going to do Trucks, or I'm probably not going to do Xfinity either. But yeah, I'm doing my top 10 drivers of this season for the Cup Series. Just remember, this is just my opinions of what I thought who were the better drivers. You may have different opinions than I do, but it's just my opinion on who I think were the best drivers of this year. So, let's get into the video. So, in number 10, I'm giving it to Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney this year scored 1 win, 1 pole, 11 top 5s, and 18 top 10s in 2019. Ryan Blaney had kind of an okay year this year. He usually ran about the top 10 to top 15 range most of the year. Has some decent runs. Nearly won ISM this year and was able to win Talladega. He just didn't show championship caliber speed until the end of the year. He just really didn't show kind of championship caliber speed. So that, in my opinion, is why Ryan Blaney is in the number 10 spot. And number 9 is going to be Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch scored 1 win, 0 poles, 6 top 5s, and 18 top 10s. My expectations for Kurt Busch in 2019 were to make it to the round of 16, just make it to the round of 16 with that ride. And while he only made it to the round of 16 this year, he should have made it to the round of 8. Before the playoffs, he was a round of 8 contender. He had an incredible regular season, finishing runner-up at tracks like Michigan and Bristol, and went to Victory Lane at Kentucky. Kurt Busch this season was a phenomenal driver and overperformed in that one car. Unfortunately, the only reason he's in number 9 is mainly because he just had a bad playoffs, unfortunately. This playoffs did not go Kurt Busch's way. The finishes really weren't there. But other than the playoffs, Kurt Busch had a great season. In the number 8 spot, we have my favorite NASCAR driver currently, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson this year scored 1 win, 1 pole, 8 top 5s, and 17 top 10s. That pole, I believe, coming at Sonoma, if I'm not mistaken. Kyle Larson this year started off the year really, really bad, in a very, very bad way. The season did not go Kyle Larson, in my opinion, the season did not go Kyle Larson's way to start off. He had like 1 or 2 top 10s in like the first 11 to 12 races. It just was a really bad start. But once we got past spring break, like the spring break for NASCAR, he just started picking up top 10, top 5 and top 10 after top 5 and top 10. And it started being really, really consistent. And Kyle Larson, in the second half of the year, turned his season around, and he became an outside championship contender. He nearly made it this year to the Final Four. It wasn't enough for him to make it to the Final Four, but he nearly in 2019 made it to the Final Four. Had he had a better runs at Texas and had he had better runs at ISM, well, he had a pretty good run at ISM. Had he had better runs at Martinsville, Texas, and ISM, he probably would have been one of the guys going to the Final Four because Denny Hamlin's mishaps. Larson, very incredible comeback year. I know it wasn't enough to win the championship or anything, but to get to the round of 8, even after having a really bad year, and for the first time making it to the round of 8, congrats Kyle Larson on that. In the number 7 spot is the most popular driver currently in NASCAR, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott in 2019 scored 3 wins, 4 poles, 11 top 5s, and 15 top 10s. Chase Elliott, the only reason I'm ranking him even this low on the list is because of his inconsistent runs at times. He had a bad round of 8, the worst round of 8 a driver's ever had in playoffs history, scoring 3 straight finishes outside the top 30, and he had inconsistency where he didn't finish in the top 10 for 5 or 6 straight races during the summer stretch. After that Pocono race where he finished 4th, he went 6 or 7 races without finishing inside the top 10. Then he went and won his second race of the year at Watkins Glen. He went to victory lane at Talladega, Watkins Glen, and the Roval in the most amazing comeback race, probably NASCAR history. Chase Elliott came back and won there. He just had such a bad round of 8 and that inconsistent run in the summer. I just couldn't put him in the top 10, unfortunately. It couldn't put him in the top 5, unfortunately. He had a good year. I think he could build on this year and maybe continue his consistency. And maybe he starts winning a lot more because he's been killing it in 2019. 6 wins in only his 3rd or 4th year. Good shit. Good shit. In the number 6 spot, we have Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski this year scored 3 wins, 3 poles, 13 top 5s, and 19 top 10s. Brad Keselowski in 2019 had kind of an up and down year. He started off this year as one of the championship favorites, scoring wins at Atlanta, Martinsville, and Kansas. But after that, he kind of fell off a cliff and really was not as competitive as people thought he was going to be. And unfortunately for Brad, he got eliminated in the round of 12, unfortunately. Unfortunately, due to having a really bad car at Kansas. Had he not had that bad car at Kansas, he probably would have had an opportunity in 2019 to maybe go to the round of 8 and maybe be an outside contender for the championship. Brad had some more consistencies than Chase, though, and that's why I put Brad in the number 6 spot. In the number 5 spot is Joey Logano. So Joey Logano in 2019 scored only 2 wins, 3 poles, 12 top 5s, and 21 top 10s. Joey Logano in 2019 was the most consistent driver who did not make it into the Final Four this year, and he is the last driver before we get into discussion about this year's Final Four. Joey Logano was able to go out and win at Las Vegas, and he was able to go out and win at Michigan. And Joey Logano nearly won this year's regular season championship. The reason that Joey Logano is number 5 on this list and why he's the highest on playoff driver, he was the most consistent driver this year. He finished in the top 10 a lot this year. 21 top 10s is pretty consistent. It's just that he didn't have the championship 4 speed in the round of 8. He looked really good at ISM, and then ISM, they just dropped off a cliff and never really recovered. Joey Logano ended up finishing, 5th in the standings. Incredible. Good year for Logano. He came out of the gate strong, trying to go for back-to-back championships. Unfortunately, he just did not have enough to go to the championship 4 this year. But a 5th place in the points, he should be pretty satisfied about that. In the number 4 spot, and the last driver that is not a JGR driver, we have Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick in 2019 scored 4 wins, 6 poles, 15 top 5s, and 26 top 10s. It took a while for Kevin Harvick to start winning races in 2019. It took him all the way up till New Hampshire to start winning here in 2019. But he was pretty consistent. He was the fastest driver for a long time that did not win a race. He looked like he had the best car that wasn't these 3 JGR cars that we're going to talk about. And that's why he made it to this year's Final Four. He scored 4 wins in 2019 at New Hampshire, the late summer Michigan race, Indianapolis, the Brickyard 400, and Texas to get into the Final Four. Kevin Harvick just did not have the speed for the big 3, the big 3 Joe Gibbs cars, I should say. He just didn't have enough, but Kevin Harvick had an incredible season. So, these top 3 are going to be very, very controversial for this list. So, in the number 3 spot, even though he is number 1 and the champion in 2019, I don't think he was the best driver overall throughout 2019. So, in number 3, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch this year scored 5 wins. He had only 1 pole, 17 top 5s, and 27 top 10s. Even though Kyle Busch is the champion, he did not show that good of speed in the playoffs. Yes, he won the championship like I just said, but Kyle Busch did not show the championship speed for most of the season. Similar to 2015 when he won the championship. After scoring 4 wins in the first 10 races, he didn't show winning speed. Kyle Busch, though, at the beginning of this year went guns blazing. He started his year with 4 wins in the first 14 races in 2019. Unfortunately, he just, like I said, he didn't show that good of speed in the playoffs. And after he went on that run, he just had a lot of inconsistent finishes. And even though he had, like I said, the most top 10s this year, I just didn't think he was the best driver overall throughout 2019. That is just my opinion on that. So, to the number 2 spot on this list, we have Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin in 2019 scored 6 wins, 3 poles, 19 top 5s, and had 24 top 10s. Denny Hamlin this year had the most incredible comeback season from 2018, man. 2018 was probably the worst year in Denny Hamlin's career, probably since 2013. He got eliminated in the round of 16, was really inconsistent, didn't show a lot of speed in 2018, and a lot of people thought that after last year's blunder of a season he was going to struggle in 2019. Denny Hamlin in 2019 went on a tear this year, scoring wins at Texas, the Fall Bristol race, Pocono, trying to think of what our races he won. This race just had an incredible year in 2019. Kansas, he also won. ISM, and where else did he win this year? I'm trying to think where Hamlin also won this year. Crap. Wherever. Hamlin still went to victory lane 6 times in 2019. Hamlin just had an incredible year this year. Incredible comeback year. He nearly won the championship. Unfortunately, lost this year's championship due to having too much tape on the car. I don't know who puts that much tape on the car, for God's sakes, but whoever did it cost Hamlin a championship. I mean, seriously, that sucks that Hamlin lost because of that. But yeah, Denny Hamlin for me is the number 2 driver of the year. So, the number 1 driver of 2019, and in my opinion, my guy who I really wanted to win a championship, Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. 2019 scored 7 wins, 0 poles, which is kind of shocking, 15 top 5s, and 24 top 10s. While Martin Truex Jr. does not put up the consistency numbers as big as Kyle Busch did, I think in general Martin Truex Jr. was the best driver. Yes, he had spikes in moments where he kind of struggled. Like the beginning of the year, he was inconsistent. He finished 2nd, then he finished like 10th. Then 2nd, then finished 2nd, then finished 10th. But once he started winning at Richmond, once he got that win at Richmond, he just started taking off and putting up winning numbers. He scored wins this season at Dover, Richmond, Charlotte, Sonoma, Vegas, this fall Richmond race, and then he went to victory lane at Martinsville to get his 7th win of the season. Martin Truex Jr. had an incredible year in 2019. Some people thought that he was going to come over to 19 and only get maybe 1 or 2 wins. He came into that team guns a-blazing and went to victory lane 7 times. Keep this in mind, this is not the same team that Daniel Suarez had in 2018, but it was some of the people from Daniel Suarez's team. The difference was you had Cole Pearn over here and Clayton Hughes, which I think that was a very good decision on Joe Gibbs' part, bringing over Cole Pearn and Clayton Hughes, because those guys do an incredible job for him. So yeah, those are my top 10 drivers of the 2019 NASCAR season. Yeah, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with my list. That's fine. That's your opinion. These are just my top 10 best, in my opinion, the top 10 best drivers of this season. Consistent side, Kyle Busch was definitely, when you look at overall and everything, I think Martin Truex Jr. was the number 1 driver in 2019. And let me say this, had Martin Truex Jr. not had the issues with the tires, I think he wins the championship, honest to God. I don't think Kyle Busch had as good of a car as Martin Truex Jr. did at the beginning of the race. I just think Truex making that mistake with the tires at the end of stage 2 cost him the championship, in my opinion. Still been a 2nd runner-up, but yeah, Martin Truex Jr. was, in my opinion, the best driver. So, there you go, guys. Want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you get notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on all my social medias. Links in the description below for that. And comment below who you thought were the 10 best drivers in the 2019 season? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.